The creepiest encounter stories that will haunt you.
The air was thick, heavy, I could feel it on my skin. A shiver ran down my spine. Something wasn't right. It was a cold October night. The wind howled like a banshee. Dead leaves swirled around my feet. I was alone, walking home. I had taken a shortcut through the old graveyard. Big mistake. I knew it was stupid, but I was late, and fear was the last thing on my mind, until now. My heart pounded in my chest. Each step I took echoed in the silence. I approached an old Victorian house. It loomed over me. The house stood at the end of the street, abandoned, decaying. Its windows were like empty eyes, watching me. I'd always avoided this house. Stories circulated about it, dark stories, stories of tragedy and madness. Now I couldn't escape its presence. The hair on the back of my neck stood on end. I stopped to listen. The wind seemed to whisper my name. A sense of dread washed over me. I was being watched. I could feel it, but I couldn't see anyone. My eyes darted around, scanning the shadows. The darkness seemed to be alive, moving, shifting. Something was out there. And then I saw it, a flicker of movement in the top window of the house, a shadow, a figure. It was tall and thin. Its eyes glowed an eerie yellow. It stared directly at me. I froze. My breath caught in my throat. I couldn't move, couldn't scream. I was paralyzed with fear. The figure moved closer to the window. The figure pressed its face against the glass. Its breath fogged up the window. It was inhuman, grotesque. Its eyes burned into mine. I felt a cold chill run through my body. It knew I was there. It had been waiting for me. I wanted to look away, to run, but I couldn't. I was rooted to the spot. The figure smiled, a cruel, twisted smile. Suddenly I snapped out of my trance. I turned and ran faster than I ever had before. Adrenaline surged through me. I didn't dare look back. I could hear the figure moving inside the house. It was coming for me. I ran and ran until my lungs burned, until I couldn't run anymore. I collapsed on the sidewalk, gasping for air. I slowly sat up and looked around. I was on my street, safe. The house was gone. Had I imagined it? Was it a hallucination? I couldn't be sure. But I knew one thing. I would never forget that night. Years have passed, but the memory of that night still haunts me. The figure in the window, the feeling of being watched. I've never been back to that street. I don't think I could ever go back. The experience changed me. I'm more cautious now, more aware of the darkness that lurks in the shadows, and I never take shortcuts through graveyards at night. Not anymore. Never again.
Thanks for watching. Please comment, like, share and subscribe. The Internet Surfer on YouTube for more horror and scary stories.